hate NPC music. This I love the word NPC. I think it's so great. From moving away from like game knowledge to like only be related to games to now turning into something people just call a random individual on the streets. I love this. Let's check this out. Holy shit.
NPC or non-playable character is a term used to describe the simulated people you interact with in video games. They're often one note, almost uncannily robotic, and often very entertaining. But I hear this term used more often today than—
I'm gonna be real, you know, like I'm not a psychopath, okay? I'm not. But like I turn off my brain so hard when I work out that I look at everybody as an NPC because I don't want to think that they exist near me when I work out, because I'm just like phased out. I like being phased out in my own mind while I work out. So regardless of how busy or if there are people there, their existence don't even matter while I'm working out because I just view them as an NPC.
Ever before.
I don't do it other places though, just at the gym.
Right, video game characters, but to describe real people in the real world. As our society becomes increasingly digital, I see more and more of these NPCs being documented in the wild.
I think it's disgusting that you're working at
You tell him.
time on a Sunday.
Okay, wait, so what does this have to do
On a Sunday.
with music? Look, in our modern dystopian world, there's more genres of music today than ever before. Like, what is hyperpop or dubstep?
I have no idea.
Be terrified of these words.
I love
But there's
dubstep.
one genre of music I hear people talk about more and more every day. A classification that almost doubles as an insult. NPC music. Chances are you've heard this term tossed around in a comment section, maybe on TikTok. But what is NPC music? And more importantly, why is NPC music? Does that make sense? Let me explain. When people call something NPC music, they're usually referring to the kind of soulless corporate pop that you hear playing in a Target or an Apple commercial. So there's your answer. NPC music is pop radio music, except not quite. While it's easy to boil it down to that definition, it's important to remember that the Billboard charts have held both songs that are commercially successful and also critically acclaimed, or at the very least beloved by a group of fans. For every Dua Lipa or Brendan Urie Taylor Swift collab, there's a SZA putting out insanely commercially successful but also widely beloved.
I have this girl over here is apparently like massive, like super massive. And it's so funny because like I've listened to some of her songs, but I've never heard her name before. Is that weird? Has anybody else been noticing it a lot? I think there's like an overabundance with like artists nowadays. And I think with all of the streamlined systems, since I've heard some songs, she's great. But I feel like when it comes to like this, like the way you discover music now is no longer through albums or recommendations. You kind of like just stream it, or you get it recommended, like you get it just sent to you in a way where you're either going through a randomizer, a radio, and you keep listening to so many different artists because the field is so broad now and open that at the moment you'll be listening to somebody and you don't even know that they're like one of the biggest artists at the moment. And their music are super big and you never heard of their name before, but you have heard their song. It's just funny because I feel like I'm noticing those kind of interactions so often now. Like SZA was one of them. I'd never heard of her ever in my life. Never. And then I watched a TikTok about her being super humble and nice. And then I checked out her Spotify page and I was like, wait, what? Wait, hold up a moment. I've heard these songs before. They are great.
Beloved songs. Okay, so it's not a
You're
type
just
of
getting
song.
old. You know what it is? Maybe it is getting old. But at the same time, I also just don't care enough. Like, I think that when it comes to names and paying attention to things that don't really are that super important, I'm blathering it out. Like, I'm like in a way, I'm a wave face. And also another thing, music is so important to me. Like, I listen to so much music. You have heard my playlist. Like, I craft my playlist well, okay? I don't have any filler that I hate at all. If there's something like that, I'll remove it instantly. So I work on like multiple different playlists. So I go through a fuck ton of music. And often, like, when I look at new music, like 98% of the songs I listen to are not going to get into my playlist, but I just check it out to see if I enjoy it. So I go through so much music, but at the same time, you know, like it just get bladdered when they just get foggy.
So then maybe it's a type of sound. Let's take, for example, Oliver Tree's new song with KSI, the sports drink guy. I've heard a lot of people describe this song as NPC music, and I can't help but agree. Well, partly because it's a typical and blatant attempt at a vanilla pop hit, but everything from the verse to the chorus and hook felt like a verse and a chorus and hook, if that makes sense. It was catchy.
You mean like he followed like an instruction book? This is not a song that was created with vibes and feelings. This is not from the heart. This was following a step-by-step guide. That's what he's referring. Like, that's what he means. I assume so.
It was energetic, but yeah, there's something about it there that just felt generic, and something that also made it feel soulless. Which is a word I'm gonna
yeah,
use a lot in
exactly.
this video, so strap in. Look, I'm a huge fan of Oliver Tree. I don't even want to include them in this video, and this is a pretty brutal example. Like, there's a lot worse offenders. Let's go over them now. Maroon 5 is one of the most successful bands of all time. Love them or hate them, they are a genre-defining, once-in-a-generation act. They sell out arenas. They top charts. They've been famous for 2 decades. And yet, when do you hear anybody say, I can't wait to go to that Maroon 5 concert, or I just spent my latest paycheck on Maroon 5
I've never heard that in my life. I'll be real with you.
merch? In my case,
Same with Imagine Dragons. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, I'm going to go watch Imagine Dragons live. I've heard people have like an opportunity to see Imagine Dragons, and they just like, I don't give a shit enough.
literally never. So who are all these people? Maroon 5 has more hits than I or anybody knows. I can go through their catalog and find songs that I didn't even know I knew. Radio hits that were always on in the background, burrowing into my brain, but never interesting enough for me to say, hey, who is this? I think that's the root of NPC music. There are countless songs like this. Charlie Puth is another great example. Everybody agrees he's a musical genius. He's had success that few artists have seen, and yet every single Charlie Puth song I hear has this empty feeling to it. Like you've heard it before, or rather would be indifferent to hearing it over and over and over and over again. Like the Oliver Tree song, it feels like it's trying to be a song. And more often than not, it works. But this kind of soulless, factory-made music is exactly what makes something feel like NPC music. They're too polished, too organized. They sound manufactured. Marshmello?
100%. And you see a lot of it. Like, that's why those songs usually don't, you know, like a way to figure out if a song really has soul in it is if it gets popular on TikTok. Because you know those songs on TikTok, they, like, you can shit on TikTok as much as you want, but when TikTok trends only good beats, only good songs, only good melodies, and those things tends to be so different and passionate that they stick around for a long time, because once a song is trending on TikTok, it's trending for months to years. Like, there's songs on TikTok that are trending for years, like literally years, and you can yourself listen to that for years and not get tired of it. And that's the magic about a song that is so unique and soulful, is that you can listen to it on repeat without getting exhausted by it. And you need that kind of passion and magic for a song to really stay that relevant and interesting for so long. Otherwise, you just like listen to it a few times and then you're tired of it, and then it's not going to be, people are not going to add it to their videos a lot anymore. Like, it's got done, it's moved on.
Another great example. So much commercial success, but what is his cultural impact besides like Fortnite? It's great at being pleasant background music, but just inoffensive enough that you don't really even notice it. Most of these NPC songs seem to work on sound and catchiness first and lyrics second. And if you break down these lyrics, they're just cookie cutter concepts that anybody could relate to. Most of these songs are either about love or heartbreak, sad or happy. And I'm not a music critic, but come on, some of these songs, who wrote this? So there we go. Happy. And I'm not a music critic, but come on, some of these songs, who wrote?
Sugar, yes, please. Won't let you come and put it down on me. Amazing. Great lyrics.
This. So
Bro, it's like AI wrote this song.
there we go. NPC music is overly produced pop music that caters to the lowest common denominator in order to maximize
It's a Maroon 5
reachability
song?
and commercial success. Except, come on, of course there's a TikTok section. Look, I thought that was a wrap, but I've barely even begun to scratch the surface. That's because a lot of NPC music and a lot of the people that are calling music NPC music are online, on apps like TikTok. Classic offenders are all of those Disney or bad songs, nursery rhyme parodies, and more recently the whole song from the perspective of anxiety just got absolutely dragged.
I agree, but it's not like 90s or 2000s music was that much better. I don't disagree with it. I think there was more passion during those times. There's many reasons why there were more passion during those times. there were more community based like aspects that affected them, more drugs, big marker, and a lot of other things changes in the world. Like I think there were more going around in the early 2000s to 90s that really let musicians like express themselves in a different manner that were new, and also like alleviate like the genres itself and create new things compared to now. But like in the end of the day, I don't think time has really that much of a matter in this case. The thing is that now there's just so many musicians. There's so many, but there's also so many great musicians. But we can't compare the amount of influx of how many new songs are being created to this year in 2025 compared to early 90s. Like there wasn't that many artists. Like there was a lot of artists back then, but like they are miles apart how easy accessible it is for somebody to get into producing music and presenting it and selling it compared to back then. You know, like back then that was a challenge.
All of these have been heavily criticized for being NPC music, but why?
Yeah. Also nowadays, yeah, you're right. Like nowadays, everybody want to be successful. Everybody always want to be successful. But they're like, people want to be musicians, they be stars, influencers, YouTubers, all of that. So like whenever like you're a kid, like those are the views you have. So more people are focused on music. Music back then was just like more of a passion thing, you know, like you didn't really, I think that kids nowadays grow up a little bit more to think they should go this direction because it seems easy and a lot of money.
The other songs we covered, these are just people making music from their bedrooms, not major pop acts like Maroon 5. Well, ignore the fact that a lot of these people actually do have major label backing and are kind of just deceptively masquerading as just another person on TikTok making music, which is definitely evil. That's a whole other video. These songs still have the same soulless manufactured pop sound. The biggest problem with these songs is that they're committing—
And by the way, the reason why it says that's evil is because the thing is that whenever you're just a regular girl or dude that don't have like $1 billion invested financial fucking company behind you, whenever you're just a regular individual, there's more like association and relation. You can relate more to the individual and you want to push them and upbring them. You want to get them up there more. You want to support them more because you feel like they don't have that kind of backing, and you can see yourself in their feet in a way. And that's why that kind of like dishonesty is like really bad. It's pretty much it. Like if, for example, let's say I was like here talking about, oh God, I'm so poor. I'm trying to just make music. Like I'm just trying to do this. And then I have actually like a massive mansion and are rich as fuck. It's kind of like that because you're presenting yourself as an indie artist, but you're not really an indie artist. That's why it's weird.
The same—
What an example. I know that kind of was like weird, but like you get the point, right? The point B is that you're presenting yourself as an indie artist. It's a streamer example. Yeah, it's a streamer example, but you're presenting yourself as an indie artist and you're not really an indie artist. You have $1 billion company behind you, backing you, guiding you, assisting you produce, and also sell your music. Like it's different, very different from one individual in the bedroom.
Denominator every song offenses, but they're trying to wink their way into being like, oh, I just made this song, guys. Should I drop this? Which ironically makes it worse. I'm not here to say these songs are good or bad. That's up to you. But there's an undeniable feeling here, something derived of personality or authenticity. Pair that with the fact that these songs are often trying to take on extremely personal and emotional issues like anxiety or heartbreak, and you get the perfect mental ick. It's like, let me open up to you guys. Let me be fragile. And then immediately showing what is an obvious attempt at just making a radio hit or the next viral sound. And I would argue this is the greatest artistic—
I don't think there has been a scenario where somebody attempts to make a viral sound become viral. I think that's so random. I think every time somebody tries to craft a viral sound, it fails miserably.
Contradiction. Music isn't a corporate invention. It's an expression, one that's not bound by culture or language and has existed as long as humanity has. You don't need a Spotify subscription or be born with perfect pitch to find yourself casually humming to yourself or singing in the shower. It's a human activity. So when you take something so genetically baked in our brain and run it through this paint by numbers corporate process, something that creates the most vanilla and inoffensive
I want to be that guy. I want to kiss your eye. What the fuck? You want to kiss her eyes? Oh, get those fucking lips away from my sensitive eyes. I want to drink that smile. I want to feel like I'm like my soul's on fire. I want to stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like, bro, this is crazy shit.
Product possible, only to take that and try to just paint on a shiny coat of humanity and relatability at the
Oh, the really bad copy of somebody I used to know. Oh, I remember you guys were talking about on Discord. Yeah, I listened to that song, the anxiety song. Million times worse than original song. Like, I get the idea of trying to take a popular song and do like your own cover of it. And like kind of hide it from not being a cover because you're like calling it something different. I get it. It works. It clearly worked for them. Also, I love, was it Doechii? I don't remember. I love her music. Like, I think she has some really fucking great songs personally, but I didn't like that one, but it works. But at the same time, I also think that is kind of like blatantly dishonest whenever you do a cover of a different song. Even if you change like a few lyrics, doesn't matter, it's still cover. You know what I mean?
last second, and you have something that just feels like fake sugar. Fake sugar being a perfect example. We
All
have
original,
so many
original is
artificial
good.
sweeteners, but no matter what we do, we can never perfectly recreate the exact taste or feeling that real pure sugar gives us. Our brain just unconsciously knows. I would argue just like this music. So I think we have our answer. NPC music are songs that are trying to be songs. They're made in a vacuum to hit every single mark correctly, but fail to actually resonate or impact our emotional brain, the exact part of the brain that makes music sound so good. I'm happy with that. I think that's good, guys. I think above all else, music is subjective, right? A lot of this music is still mocked by the general public, but they still have their fans.
Dude, listen, people listen to like beep noises as songs. Like I've heard some form of sub techno that is just like absolute air rape. Like my ears bleed listening to it. But there's like a massive audience listening to it. It's not even about being old or whatever, like young or old. I don't know. Like the thing is, the sounds are weird. Music is very subjective, and the same with art. It is on it's eye of the beholder. Like, you know, like this stuff. It's for some people. If I find it, guys, I promise you, I don't remember what the genre name is. But next time I find it, I will send it to you guys on Discord so you know. Because you listen to that, it's just beeping noises. It's weird as fuck.
Comment
but
section
people love listening to it.
Of any of these songs, and you'll see a lot of people that genuinely love and support the artist. Are these people just NPCs? Well, I would argue we all are. I've definitely been an NPC before, I can't lie. There are times where I've driven for like a half hour, and then I kind of just wake up when I'm done, and I'm like, did I just do that drive? I don't have any memories of that drive. Oh my god, did I hurt anybody? Or there's times where I just go shopping, and like, my brain doesn't turn back on until...
This is me every day, all the time, nearly. My days go in a snap. I am just gone. There's so much of my brain. There's so much going on. I don't care anymore. I gotta go and do all of these things.
I'm leaving the grocery
Fellow
store.
NPC, that's
on my
right.
phone is a distraction.
I'm just a dude. I go shop, I clean, I go to the gym, I work. And sometimes I do some stupid hobbies like streaming, you know, like I'm just an NPC.
Giving my brain a rest so I just don't have to think. Am I any better than the people mocked on the internet? Am I any better than Maroon 5 fans? Music is not a precise thing. Not even Marshmello can be boring to everybody. And honestly, that's pretty cool. At the end of the day, not everybody is even into music. Some people barely listen at all. In that case, say they're just like a working class mother of 3, of course their favorite song would be That's What I Like or Sugar. What motivation does she have to go discover Duster or Glitch Pop? She's got 3 kids. And Bruno Mars is hot. So even though I went into this trying to define NPC music, I kind of look at it differently. Still, this phenomenon is not going away. In fact, I think it's going to actually get worse. As music tools become more accessible and people can make radio quality songs from their laptop, more and more of this soulless music can be made from people whose tools technically outpace their understanding of what makes a song truly great.
That's what I said earlier.
Also, AI music is going to be a thing, and that's going to be even worse.
And honestly, like this video itself is 2 years old. AI music is good. Like it's not great, but it's way better than I could ever imagine. Like it is impressive in a way and scary how it is, because like the thing is that the thing with AI like that, if you have an artist use some things with AI, they can probably produce something great. And I don't even know, like, I'm not an artist, so I can't explain it. But the point being is, if AI can make decent songs on itself with just like prompts, how can you give, if you give that tool to an artist or upcoming artist or whatever, like what the fuck are they gonna do? Yeah, listen to Kenji's song, it's NPC ADHD. Yeah, true.
But I think there's an inspiring takeaway from all of this. This kind of
Scary
music
stuff.
can motivate people to go out and discover songs they actually like, that do things differently that they think are cool. So at the end of the day, maybe NPC music is good after all. Except no, a lot of it still sucks. That being said, guys, this is a rabbit hole I did not think I'd fall down into, but I hope you found it interesting. Let me know in those comments down below, what are some songs that you think is NPC music? Or do you disagree with some of my takes in this video? Let's get a conversation going. I love making this content for you guys, so please consider just giving it a like and subscribing.
This guy is
channel.
adorable,
Send this
by the
video to
way.
your friends even. I want to keep making stuff like this, so any support is greatly appreciated. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I like that video. That was a really good video. I'm gonna be real. I thought that was a really good video. Thank you for recommending me it. This guy, he was cute. He's super cute. Yeah, I thought he was adorable. But like, so in the end of the day, I think that NPC music are those songs that you listen to once and you think it's vibey and nice, but you never want to listen to it again. Like you never add it to your playlist or anything. It's not that great and not getting that spark. You can listen to it. It's fine. But it's the same as nearly AI songs, nearly in a sense at the moment, where you just listen to it and you're like, oh, this is okay. But you would never save it to your playlist, obviously. But yeah, that was a good video. Well, great video. Holy shit. I enjoyed that.